Have you ever looked at your dog and thought, why are you doing that? What if I told you that some of the behaviors you see every single day don't mean what you think they do? In fact, millions of loving dog owners accidentally misunderstand their dogs. Not because they don't care, but because they're interpreting dog behavior through human emotions instead of canine instincts. And one of the behaviors we'll talk about today could completely change the way you understand your best friend. So stay with me, because the last one is one of the most misunderstood signals dogs ever give. Let's start with something almost every dog owner has experienced. Your dog stares at you, maybe while you're eating, maybe while you're watching TV, maybe for no obvious reason at all. Most people assume their dog wants food or attention. Sometimes that's true, but often there's something much deeper happening. Dogs are experts at reading human faces. They study your expressions, your body language, even tiny changes in your mood. When your dog stares at you, they may actually be trying to predict what you're about to do next. To them, you're the center of their world, and understanding you helps them feel safe. But here's what's fascinating. When that intense eye contact suddenly disappears, it can sometimes be a sign that something in your relationship or your dog's emotional state has changed. We'll come back to that idea in a moment. Now, think about this. Have you ever come home after a long day and found your dog wagging their tail like crazy? Most people believe a wagging tail always means happiness. That's one of the biggest myths about dogs. A wagging tail simply means emotional excitement. That excitement could be joy, nervousness, uncertainty, or even stress. The speed, height, and direction of the wag all matter. A relaxed, full-body wag usually signals comfort and affection, while a stiff, fast wag held high can mean your dog is feeling tense. That's why experienced trainers never judge a dog's emotions by the tail alone. They look at the whole body. And there's another body signal that owners misunderstand even more. Have you ever noticed your dog yawning when they aren't sleepy? It seems strange, doesn't it? Most people ignore it completely. But in dog psychology, yawning is often a calming signal. Dogs use it to reduce stress, ease tension, or communicate peaceful intentions. If your dog yawns during a vet visit, in a crowded park, or even while you're scolding them, they may be trying to calm themselves or even calm you. It's their way of saying, I don't want conflict. Imagine speaking a language your best friend never learned. That's exactly what many dogs experience every day. And if this is changing the way you see your dog, take a second to like this video and subscribe. Every week, we uncover the hidden messages behind dog behavior, so you can build an even stronger bond with your four-legged companion. Here's another behavior that surprises almost everyone. Your dog follows you everywhere. Into the kitchen, into the hallway, sometimes even to the bathroom. People joke that their dog has separation anxiety, but that's not always the case. Dogs are naturally social animals. In the wild, staying close to trusted members of the group increases safety and survival. When your dog follows you, it often means you are their secure base. They're not simply watching where you go. They're choosing to stay near the person who makes them feel safe. But here's the question most owners never ask. What happens if a dog who always follows you suddenly stops? That change can sometimes reveal far more than constant shadowing ever could. Now let's talk about licking. Many people believe dogs lick because they love giving kisses. Affection is certainly part of it, but licking has several meanings. Puppies lick their mothers to communicate. Adult dogs lick trusted companions to strengthen social bonds. Some dogs lick because they're anxious. Others lick because they enjoy the salty taste of human skin. If your dog gently licks your hands after you've been crying or feeling upset, they may be responding to changes in your scent, your voice, and your body language. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to emotional shifts, even when you don't say a word. They don't fully understand sadness the way humans do, but they recognize that something is different, and many instinctively respond by staying close. Now think about your dog's ears. Most owners only notice whether they're standing up or flopping down. But ear movements constantly reveal emotional changes. Ears pushed forward often show curiosity or focus. Ears pulled back can signal fear, uncertainty, or submission. Sometimes dogs flatten their ears simply because they're greeting someone they trust. Reading the ears together with the eyes, mouth, posture, and tail gives you a much more accurate picture than relying on one signal alone. That's why understanding dogs is less about memorizing individual behaviors and more about learning their entire body language. Here's another misunderstood habit. Your dog suddenly brings you a toy. Most people assume they're asking you to play. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're offering something valuable to someone they trust. Think of it as sharing a prized possession. In dog relationships, sharing resources can strengthen social bonds. So when your dog drops their favorite toy at your feet, they may be saying something much bigger than, "Throw this." They could be saying, "You're part of my family." Now let's talk about one behavior that worries many owners. Your dog rolls onto their back. Everyone says it means they want belly rubs. That's true for many dogs, but not all of them. Rolling over can also be a sign of trust, uncertainty, or an attempt to avoid conflict. Context matters. A loose body, relaxed eyes, and gentle tail movement usually suggest comfort. A stiff body, tense mouth, or tucked tail can mean the dog feels vulnerable instead. The exact same position can have completely different meanings depending on everything happening around it. Here's something many owners accidentally punish without realizing it: sniffing. During walks, people often rush their dogs from one place to another. But for dogs, sniffing isn't wasting time. It's gathering information. Their noses can detect an incredible amount about the world around them. Every tree, every patch of grass, every sidewalk tells a story through scent. Allowing your dog time to sniff can provide mental stimulation that's just as important as physical exercise. A tired brain often creates a calmer, happier dog than endless running alone. And finally, let's return to something we mentioned at the beginning. What happens when your dog suddenly stops doing a behavior they've always done? Maybe they stop greeting you at the door. Maybe they stop following you from room to room. Maybe they stop making eye contact. Many owners assume their dog is simply getting older or becoming independent. Sometimes that's true, but sudden changes in normal behavior can also signal stress, discomfort, fear, changes in routine, or even health problems. Dogs often communicate quietly long before obvious symptoms appear. That's why paying attention to changes is often more important than focusing on any single behavior by itself. The most amazing thing about dogs is that they spend their entire lives trying to understand us, even though we speak a completely different language. Every glance, every tail movement, every yawn, every gentle nudge is part of an ongoing conversation. The more you learn to listen, the stronger your relationship becomes. Your dog doesn't expect you to be perfect. They simply hope you'll notice what they're trying to say. And once you begin understanding these hidden signals, you'll never look at your best friend the same way again. Because your dog isn't just behaving, they're communicating.